What's going on, guys? As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, drop a comment. Without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump right in. So what we have going on over here, we got some watering. Feel free to go check out our summer watering video I just did. But lamb's ear is still growing strong. I think we're actually going to replace this with a tree later on, but I'm not sure yet. It's cool. It was a great experience. I think having access to it would be awesome because it has like microbial and bacterial. Basically, it's supposedly supposed to be good for like when you have flus or like little viruses or whatever. So having it around is cool, but in the micro homestead, I think we need more functionality. So we may be looking to replace this, like maybe a trade or something later on. The carrots are flowering like crazy. Just letting them cook, do their thing. I've been using these other plants that are in the containers with the trees as a way to let me know when it's time to water. A little interesting tidbit. They will look sad before the trees look sad, which saves the trees because I can easily get more bell peppers. It is much harder to get the trees. I have noticed that the aloe really likes to spread. It's not much into getting big. I probably could like force it to get larger to like one huge plant. But I'm really happy with this, and I just want to see what happens when you just let it go and do its thing naturally. We have dialed back on watering our succulents. The only water they get is from our weekly watering. You can see we transplanted our dragon fruit here. Again, we just planted it at the bottom, packed dirt up. We want a large root mass, and since I cut one of our tomatoes over here out, I went ahead and put the metal cage here. As you can see, this one getting huge. That's actually supposed to be a beefsteak, so I'm interested to see how that turns out. The okras here are going phenomenal. We still have like volunteer potatoes and some bell peppers and stuff down there. We have a stevia plant over here. These are the sunflowers that we planted. Again, we're just going really, really large. We're going to be planting here next year, so I need as many sticks available for trellising, and I need those root systems to really penetrate the clay that we have here. That way, as they start to decompose, it'll help kind of break up that clotted clay, that hard clay, so our veggies will do a little bit better this next year. Now this is the hugelkultur side, but we're doing it on what was our compost and the hugelkultur side here. You can see this tomato's still going strong. Green beans are crazy taking off. They actually got so heavy that this guy here snapped right here and just kind of fell down. So I just pushed it into itself, and then this one here snapped as well. And it's kind of resting on this guy and this one here. It seems to me that you're only gonna have about 3 months. So I think next time, if we should start the green beans immediately after the sunflowers sprout. That way they can grow at similar rates and we can get a little bit better trellising system off of it. Because the things that are alive, such as the okra, are doing really well. Like the okra right here is actually what's keeping this tomato from falling over during the wind. Because the loofah has wrapped itself kind of all up in there, so it's working to hold itself. So it's an interesting thing. We'll see what happens with it. We still have bell peppers back here and the volunteer potatoes that are doing relatively well. I would say that they're actually doing better than when it was just potatoes here, but that's just my opinion. Sunflowers, again, still coming up. We got a stevia plant here. This is our peach tree. Again, we're going to be putting like peaches or nectarines. We topped it right here a while back. I've also been kind of stripping all the leaves so that way whenever it goes to its final home, we have a good area to work with for maintenance. And once these guys are about the thickness of a pencil, we're going to start our grafting. Now the moringa has been very interesting. We've been slowly adding this into our diet, and I have personally been feeling better. I love its growth. I'm very interested and excited to see what happens like when it's time to harvest seeds. Once it gets to about right here or so, I'm actually going to start topping it to really get this bushiness out. Another cool tidbit is these little plants that I have in here. I've been actually using them to tell me when it's time to water for the trees, because they start to look really sad before the trees do. And these tubs basically dry out at the same consistency, so the dual root zones is working really well. So as soon as these get sad, about every 2 days is when I come water. But if it's if I water and then the next day they look sad again, I'm like, okay, you know, they kind of need some more water. The Vix plant here, we had been watering like a vegetable. You can see with the yellowing of the leaves. We've been cutting back, and you can see it's been starting to green out really well. The mountain laurel, I've only got maybe another 1 or 2 leaves on, but those are notorious for their growth. They're super slow. Also, feel free to go check out my buddy. It's Jay's Figs TX on YouTube. He actually hooked me up with this lemon tree sapling he started. We just recently put it in here out of a 1 gallon because the roots hit the bottom and we want as much growth out of here as possible because it's going to be our grafting rootstock. Another cool tidbit is this blueberry is doing phenomenal. The sulfur really worked. I know our other one died because we didn't get to it in time, but very excited. Going forward, we're for sure only going to plant 1 loofah because this 1 loofah has taken over this whole section. So whenever we add in like our watermelons and stuff, they're pretty much going to fill out whatever's left. Our lavender is still not doing great. As you can see, the carrots are actually flowering here. The rosemary, we have cut a large section back. We are doing the sun drying in the basket. I think I made a short on it. Go check that out if you want to know about that. The biggest thing is getting it before they're crispy dry, because then they start to brown and like they lose all their flavor. So doing that, and then where there's still a little bit of water in the plant, and then do the curing process. Again, I've done a video, go check that out. Has been very helpful. We've been harvesting bell peppers off of our pepper plants, so there's not much to look at right now. One of the watermelons did survive, but we did plant everything we have left. I also transplanted the hibiscus into here because it really needed some more space. I chopped this tomato back. As you can see, it was laying down, so we're going to start trellising it back. I'm probably going to chop this one back as well, just because it's so overgrown. That way, come fall, we can get our production. Garlic chives are doing really well, and we've actually been using this bell pepper here as a way to save seed. Over here, I transplanted the cutting of our improved Meyer lemon. I also have this here. It's my wife's bonsai thing. It's doing good. It's like an elm, I think. This is we planted all of the watermelon seeds that we have left because we really want a watermelon. We have not had good luck with it, so we're going to see how that goes. We just chopped all this back, as you can see. So again, we chopped all this back into the sun drying method we were talking about. I also just recently chopped these guys back. The cosmos are being really good as a mulch supply. The rest of the flowers are barely hanging in there. We got some new growth coming in from the asparagus here, as you can see. Pretty cool. I'm excited to see how that turns out. These carrots, for some reason, aren't flowering like the others, but it's whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not a race. Loquat, we haven't had a whole lot of growth this year, I would say. I mean, it basically is about the same height, but there's a new stem at the same height. So I guess it's doubled in size, and that's cool. I feel like it could have done a lot better. But I'm still going to give it another year, and then we'll put it into an actual full-size pot. The lemon balm has been doing amazing, and we have been harvesting some of this slowly. The lemongrass, I think going for like into the future, we're probably not going to grow this again. There's really not a whole lot we need it for. We have started harvesting some of the catnip. Catnip is good for like sore muscles and stuff in the heat. You know, you can get muscle spasms, so adding that in your water is a really good flavor and medicinal value that I use it for. Again, not a doctor. Don't take my advice. We've been harvesting some of the basil, eating it mostly fresh, but we are going to start saving it soon as well. We have transplanted our pear tree. I'm relatively certain this is a pear. So yeah, we're just letting it grow, letting it do its thing right now. It's not big enough to I'm probably gonna have to come through and cut that off later, but that's fine. We can do that later on. So while we can, we got another bell pepper here. Again, we got our garlic chives we've been using, more sunflowers. This corn here, these are probably going to be Indian corn. I do not believe these are going to be a sweet corn, but that's fine. At least we didn't totally lose our genetics. Right there we have a tomato cutting. Of course we have some parsley. We also have the mosquito plants, more sunflowers. They're all doing relatively well. The canna for a chop and drop has been phenomenal. And as you can see, I mean, look, these green beans are just absolutely loaded. Another cool little tidbit, the fig here has really taken a liking to the new system. I do need to come kind of clean out the bottom again a little bit. But one, I believe this is a rooted cutting, so I am going to practice some grafting later on. But for now, I'm really happy with these main stems because, again, my buddy, it's Jay's, I think it's Jay's Figs TX that I was telling you about. I think he's going to be able to hook me up with some figs in the future so we can practice grafting with those. The banana is taking off. It's so happy. It's very stout. I'm excited to see its growth. I can tell it's been spending some time sending some new shoots for sure, but it's also been spending some time sending roots down. And again, as I told y'all, I've been using these smaller plants as a way to tell me when it's time to water. It is working out phenomenally. This is our apple tree here. For some reason, the yellow jackets and stuff have really just been hanging out here. I think they're hunting. I think they're eating other insects, so I have been leaving them alone unless they build a nest. The only time we spray is if there's a nest. So that nest there, we sprayed and killed it. And then lately they've been hanging out on here. So again, I think they're eating something. Maybe the ants, maybe worms, I don't know. They are a form of pest control, so we don't get rid of them. We just ask them not so nicely to relocate. And that they do. They're pollinators and all that as well. As you can see, the green beans have really been taken off on this. Also, the apple itself has taken off. Our grafts are doing phenomenal. So like this guy here is a graft. This whole stem here is a graft. I don't even remember from what tree, but it is a different tree than the Fuji. Oh, that guy over there was not looking happy. This is our Vitex here. Again, it is doing phenomenal. That green bean is starting to take off as well. And that's pretty much everything. Like I said, since we messed up our timing, it's still a little empty over there. We are working on filling it with the watermelons from over there. But that's it for now. As always, peace, be kind out there, and we'll see y'all in the next one.